A winter storm watch is in effect from Saturday afternoon, January 6th, through Sunday evening, January 7th. Forecasting heavy snow. The affected regions include several counties in New York: Madison, Southern Indiana, Cortland, CHENANGO, OTSEGO, BROOME, Delaware, and Sullivan. And in Pennsylvania, Susquehanna, Northern Wayne, Wyoming, Lackawanna, Pike, and Southern Wayne. Here to tell us more about this forecast is Warning Coordination Meteorologist at NOAA National Weather Service, Mark Pellerito.
Thank you, Patricio. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great. So seems like it's going to be the first significant winter storm in our area. It seems like we've been lacking snow in the past couple of seasons. So can you provide our listeners with sort of an overview of the winter storm watch that's in effect this weekend?
The National Weather Service issues winter storm watches when there is at least 50% confidence in getting 6 to 7 inches of snow from a single storm. And then as we get closer into the storm and the confidence increases, the watches end up turning over to winter storm warnings. Or if lower amounts are expected, yet it still could cause travel impacts, then those are winter weather advisories. You can expect that watches will turn to warnings and advisories today as we make those decisions.
We just let our listeners know that we are recording this during noontime. So what are the expected accumulations for our area? It seems like it has increased since this morning.
Sure. Oh, yeah. With this storm, which we've been seeing for many days now, we've been seeing it in the models. There's some back and forth on the track and all that stuff. But one thing that's been common all along is roughly from the Poconos through the Catskills does look to be pretty in the middle of where this heavier snow stripe is likely to be. The forecast that we have right now for Sullivan County and surrounding areas, including Pike, Wayne, Delaware counties, is somewhere in the 8 to 10 inch range for snowfall. We are also expecting that the front end of this is where the heavier snow will occur. And then as the storm carries on, it's going to get lighter and just linger into Sunday morning. But yeah, for the progression of this, sometime around 3 or 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon is when the snow should begin. And we could see some snowfall rates exceeding 1 inch per hour, maybe even up to 2 inches per hour, at least for a window of time, Saturday evening. And then once you get into overnight Saturday night and into Sunday morning, the snow will be lighter, but it'll be lingering as well. When all is said and done, the expectations right now are about 8 to 10 inches of snow.
Now, this, of course, is going to lead to some potential disruptions and challenges. What can travelers expect during this period?
It's not all bad news, right? This could be happening on a Monday morning and affecting schools and all that stuff, right? That's not happening. In this case, it's going to be happening on a Saturday evening to Saturday night, which still impacts people, does, but there are certainly busier times that could occur. But anyone with travel plans from mid-afternoon Saturday through Saturday night and even into Sunday morning as the cleanup occurs, this could certainly impact, and travel could become very difficult. If you can change plans, go earlier, go later, I would certainly do that.
Are there specific regions where the forecast has more uncertainty? And if so, why?
Yeah, there's more uncertainty as you get more towards the I-81 corridor and points west. That's where there's been a little more wishy-washy on the models for how far inland that the heavier snow could extend from this coastal storm. But you get into the Poconos and Catskills, it looks we have some pretty good confidence that heavy snow is going to occur. It's just a matter of, does it end up being in more like 5 or 6 inches, or does it actually approach a foot? That's where the uncertainty is. There is no uncertainty, though, for the fact that there is going to be a coating of snow. It's going to be at least several inches of snow. And the most likely amount looks to be the 8 to 10 inch range. Now, could it be a foot? But the storm does have some speed to it. So there is an upper limit to what could occur. If the storm were parking over the area and really racking up a bunch of inches of snow, then there would be more uncertainty on the upper end. But pretty confident that the amounts will stay below a foot, yet will be above a half a foot, somewhere in that range.
So how can communities best prepare for this impending winter storm?
Just if you have plans that require you to be from point A to point B, do it early or do it much later. Simple as that. Also, one positive about this storm is we're not expecting a lot of wind with it. there'll be a little wind. But if it were high winds with a heavy wet snow, we'd have to be more concerned with, let's say, power outages and things like that. In this case, it looks like it's purely snow. It's just going to be a number of inches of snow, travel impacts for sure, but the additional impacts that can happen with winter storms, not so much.
Absolutely. This is an ever-changing storm here. Like I said, just in past morning, the inches has increased here. Folks should go to the National Weather Service website for the most up-to-date information on this winter storm, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, the forecast is updated every few hours. It is constantly updated with the latest information. And not just on our website, but if you dig into the winter page of our website, if you go to our website and look for the little snowflakes icon, click on there. And then that way you don't just get an exact number of what the most likely forecast is, but you have the upper end and the lower end. What's the worst case? What's the best case? And then what's the most likely forecast?
We're talking to the warning coordination meteorologist at NOAA National Weather Service about the upcoming storm. Again, keep up to date on the National Weather Service website for the most latest up-to-date information from this storm. Mark, thank you so much for joining us on the program. I know you have a busy night ahead of you. Sleep.
I do want to mention that this is a pretty busy pattern we're getting into. This is just the first storm. Looks pretty busy going forward. Around Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we could have a wet system and a very windy one. And so that adds new concerns. If you have a bunch of snow that can melt and then you throw a bunch of rain on top, what could happen? So we'll be sorting that out in coming days as well. Just stay weather aware, not just updated on this storm, but also the one to come next week, because there could be some pretty impactful factors with that storm, including high winds and the potential for melting snow plus rain, which could even cause a little bit of flooding.
We're glad you're here to keep us up to date. So maybe we'll talk to you again next week. So again, thank you, Mark, for this. Appreciate it. Stay safe and hopefully you get some sleep this weekend.
All right. Thank you, Patricio.